welcome back on the podcast. Today is a good day too. That is becoming for this year a special this month is a good month too, where every month I am taking you on an exclusive journey behind the scenes of my preparation towards Paris 2024 Olympic Games. I am so happy to be with you right now, and if you're new here, welcome on board. My name is Lucie Herman. I'm a field hockey goalkeeper playing for the senior French women national team and for the Dutch club called Den Bosch. Besides playing hockey, I'm also an inspiring life coach and high performance coach. Now, what is the purpose of this podcast format? Every month, I'm sharing with you 3 to 4 key questions, key topics related with events that happened to me or around me during the month prior. So the goal is to reflect on some situations and grow from them. During each episode, I'm sharing with you key mindset tips and personal thoughts that I'm personally using when I'm facing difficult situations. And I'm going to share it with you the most relatable way possible for you to apply it in your own daily life. My biggest purpose with this podcast is to guide you to think a different way, to see things from a different angle, and overall to help you grow your mind, develop your mental strength, and become the best version of yourself. During each episode, feel free to write down some notes on your phone or on a paper while listening, or you can also record some moments on your phone if you can't write down at the same time, in order for you to go back to everything you need easily. And of course, if you enjoy this podcast or enjoy this episode, you can subscribe and follow it on any platform you're listening your podcast on, so you won't miss any upcoming episodes. And if you're enjoying this podcast or found anything helpful and you would like to let me know, and also if you have any questions about something I shared, you can always send me a personal message on my Instagram, that is @happylucy. I do read each of your texts and I'll reply with the biggest pleasure. Now, just a quick reminder before we dive in, the several tips I'm going to share are not magic tricks to make you happy forever, neither magic tricks so that you will never be sad a day in your life, nor struggle a day in your life or anything like that, simply because that is not possible. I'm sorry, the sole purpose of sharing tips with you is to give you some mindset tools you can practice. Thus, yes, mindset is a practice. And practicing these mindset tools will help you to navigate your daily life a bit better. That's it. All I want is to help you develop your physical, mental and emotional capacities, as well as for you to become more capable of overcoming your own challenges, more confident in your own skin, more capable of using your own emotions instead of them using you. And also I want to teach you how to think differently. That's it. Last but not least, every piece of advice I'm going to share in each episode are not the only way to work on some situations I'm sharing. They are one way. In this case, I'm sharing the way I used myself in that specific situation that I will share with you. But remember that this is not a 3-hour mindset masterclass on one specific mindset theme with like 10 ways to get better at one topic. This is a humble podcast episode about things that happen in my life. Now, without further ado, thank you for having listened to this introduction. This month is a good month to reflect over November. Here we go! The 3 key topics of this month's episode are the following one. Topic number 1. Why is it deeply important to be aware of the sacrifices you get to do if you really want to reach your goals and become happier daily? Topic number 2, how to understand, control and overcome our emotions a bit better. How to get better at being less nervous during high-pressured moments. Let's dive into our first key topic of the month. Why is it deeply important to be aware of the sacrifices you get to do if you really want to reach your goals and become happier daily? I got this topic idea because last month, Kai, who is my goalkeeper coach, and we went to a hockey club in the Netherlands to do a small conference to goalkeepers. My goalkeeper coach talked about goalkeeping and being a goalkeeper, and I talked about some key mental points to become a better goalkeeper. Now, during my presentation, I was talking about some benefits we get from being second goalkeeper in your team and how much it allows you to learn and grow before getting the opportunity to be first goalkeeper somewhere else, or maybe in your same club. I asked in the audience who's second or third goalkeeper. A few goalkeepers raised their hand, and I started discussing with one girl especially who's playing for the second team of her under 18 team. She told me her goal was to make it to the first team. So I asked her, okay, how many percent is she giving into her goal of making it to the first team? She told me she's giving it 90%, which is a lot already. But she was honest to say that the last 10% were that she is not willing to give up her social life. And because she doesn't want to give up on her social life, she's not giving 100% to reach her goal of making it as a first goalkeeper. Now, just to make it really clear, I'm absolutely not judging here the girl or blaming her or anything negative because she's not giving her 100%. I totally respect that she doesn't want to give up on her normal life because I totally understand it is a tough sacrifice to do. I'm only sharing this conversation as a specific example for this topic, and also I'm sharing it to help you guys reflect as well on your own goals and the sacrifices you are willing to do or not in your own life. So back to the initial key question, why is it deeply important to be aware of the sacrifices we get to do if we really want to reach our goals and become happier daily? It is deeply important because, to keep going with the example of that girl, she said she wants to be first goalie, even if she's not giving her 100%, because she doesn't want to make the sacrifice to give up on her social life, even though she knows that it would increase her chance of reaching her goal. Now, I'm asking you who's listening to think about a goal you have. How many percent are you honestly giving to that goal? Is it 20? Is it 60? Is it 80? Is it 90? Is it 100%? And if you are not giving it 100%, what kind of sacrifices or efforts you know you should be making in order to increase your chances of reaching your goals? And where could your weekly discipline get better? And more than that, if you don't want to make the sacrifices to reach your goal, if you don't want to give it your 100%, the question becomes then, is that goal you say you have really the goal you have? And that question is linked with the importance of self-awareness, being aware of what exactly is your goal and what are the sacrifices you get to do in order for you to give it your 100% and increase your chances to make it. I'm asking these questions to you because, back to the girl who said she doesn't want to give up on her social life, thanks to self-awareness, the question that is, what really is her goal? Because maybe as she doesn't want to give up on her social life, then her true goal is not to be first goalkeeper one day, but her true goal is to keep enjoying spending time with her friends, going out and partying. Which is absolutely okay. Like, I'm not, again, like being judgmental or condescending here. I'm sharing this and asking these questions to, like I said, mention two other important points, which are acceptance and happiness. Because how often you're being sad or frustrated because you feel a goal you have is too hard or seems too impossible for you. But what if you ask these questions with yourself, take some time to actually genuinely reflect and maybe make some peace with yourself that probably a goal you say you have isn't actually the goal you truly have. Maybe a goal seemed too hard or impossible for you and it makes you sad because the sacrifices that goal requires cost you too much on things you're not willing to give up. I don't know. I do not have the answers. Only you have the answers. And I'm only asking these questions to help you reflect and be clear with yourself of what truly is your goal. Maybe hearing me saying all these things increases your knowledge, increases your awareness that you have one goal and you really want to go for it. And maybe on the other way, it's making you question what you actually really want to follow. Because I'm absolutely not saying that we all should give up on every goal we have because they require sacrifices. Absolutely not. I am saying that being aware of all the sacrifices Working for our goal requires for us to give it really 100% and to fully accepting that these are the sacrifices we get to do. That will allow us to increase our daily happiness. Because back again to what I just said. If that girl says her goal is to be first goalkeeper, but at the same time, she doesn't want to give up on her social life, how much happier could she be if she becomes aware that her social life is much more important for her than being first goalie? And how much happier could she be if she realizes that and if she fully accepted that? How happier could she be if she switches her focus and the pressure she's putting on herself from the goal to be first goalie to fully link on her goal of protecting her social life and having time with her friends? Because also a benefit from being aware of that is that some pressure that we are putting on our own shoulders starts to disappear. Now, I want to share with you two personal examples about that topic. So as you guys know, my goal is to play at the next Paris Olympics. And when I really started training for it, I was 18 years old. And like everyone, I was studying, going to the university, and very often I would go out with my friends or join parties. Now, I wanted to go out with my friends, and I wanted to be in shape for my gym sessions or my hockey training on the day after. So, one sacrifice I did all the time was I would go out, I would go party, not until super late, but at least I would join. And I would never drink. Never. That was my boundary. I would be the only person in the room going to a party who is bringing tea bags instead of beers or alcohol bottles. And exactly the same, we would go to a bar and I would order a tea instead of a beer. And at first, my friends would laugh the first times, they would be judging me a bit, but then step by step, they were also understanding of my goal. So they stopped laughing and they let me be me. And the important point is, when some of my friends or strangers at party would laugh or tell me I'm not fun because I'm drinking water, I didn't care at all about their opinions because I knew I was genuinely happier with my decision of drinking tea than I was feeling frustrated from being judged by other people. I was truly happy to know I am behaving according to what my true goal is. And that self-awareness, that I'm truly happier from behaving according to what my true goal is, absolutely protects my internal happiness when the external world gets tough. To wrap up this first key topic of the month, you can write down and answer for you the following questions. 1. What's my goal? 2. What are all the sacrifices working for my goal imply? Question 3. Am I okay with that? Am I willing to accept that? Truly. Am I okay to make all the sacrifices? Question 4. Do I understand that in order for me to protect my discipline and dedication towards a goal I have, can I say that I am happy in a way to make the sacrifices, even if they cost me a lot? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Well, you can bring some nuances if you want, but on paper it's a yes or no question. Question 5. If I realize that these sacrifices are costing me too much, what really is my goal then? What I want for you champions through sharing all this with you is helping you increases your daily happiness, like truly your happiness, and helping you guys reach what your true goal is. Because if you are really clear with yourself, and I mean really clear with what your goal is and what the sacrifices are, and if you are able to work on accepting them and making peace with the fact that yes, sometimes they are costing a lot, then it's going to be way easier for you to actually go through these sacrifices and do the hard things. Now let's dive into topic number 2. How to understand, control and overcome our emotions a bit better. What happened in my life in November so that I'm sharing this right now? Well, like I previously said, I did a conference with Kai, my goalkeeper coach, last month. And I was pleasantly surprised because it was my first time that I was doing a presentation like this. It was my first time talking in front of people, and I think around like 25 or 30 people were there. Whereas I actually thought like 5 people would join. So seeing everyone in the room really deeply gave me a lot of good energy. The conference lasted for 2 hours. Kai talked the first hour, and I was waiting to talk for the second hour. And let me tell you, all the time that Kai was talking, I was standing on the side, listening to him, and my body was shaking so much. Like really, I was looking at my hands and I was like, oh my God, there's something going on. And at that moment, I knew that I just had found my first podcast episode topics of the month. Because here is one life-changing mindset tool for you to practice and for you to remember in order to help you understand and overcome our emotions a bit better. And the mindset tool is practice putting the right name over the emotion you're feeling. Practice putting the right name over the emotion you're feeling. It might sound very obvious or stupid or weird or maybe super easy, but it can also be very hard to do at the beginning if you are new to practicing self-awareness and emotional awareness. And let me tell you, when we start practicing putting the right name over the emotion we are feeling, that can become super helpful for you, for your mental health, and even for your relationship with other people. So back to my personal example, what happened when I noticed that my body could not stop shaking, I was first thinking, my impulse was, whoa, I am so nervous. Like I'm really nervous. Which on paper would make sense. I'm going to talk in front of people. I've never done that before. I'm going to have to talk in Dutch. It's scary. However, that notion of practicing putting the right name over the emotion we are feeling is a notion I learned last year from Dr. Brené Brown. If you don't know her, she's American. She's a shame, vulnerability, and courage researcher, as well as a bestseller author who published a couple of books about emotions, including her last one, Atlas of the Heart. I absolutely love her work, and if you want to become better at understanding your emotions, understanding why we can behave the way we do, if you want to become better at understanding yourself, improve your self-awareness, improve your emotional maturity, and if you just overall want to understand better how we function as human beings, I highly recommend you her work. And if you're not really interested in all these things, then you can just keep on listening to my podcast episode where I'm going to bring to you one piece of extract of her work that can be truly helpful for you. And if you want to start watching her work a bit easier, you can start on YouTube watching her TED Talks. You can just search on Google Brené Brown vulnerability. It is such a brilliant speech about courage, love, emotions, relationship. And I'm going to put the link in the biography of this podcast episode. So back to my personal example, when I noticed my body could not stop shaking and I was thinking I am so nervous. What I did, and what you can practice for yourself too, so you can write down what I'm going to say so you can have the questions with you, it is to simply question yourself with the following questions. Question 1, is that true? I'm so nervous, is that true? In other words, is nervous the right name of the emotion I'm feeling? Am I feeling that emotion only, or could I also be feeling another emotion? Could it be something else? How else could I be feeling? And just side note, I'm saying nervous because that's only how I felt at that moment, but of course you can change that with any emotion you're feeling, sad, angry, mad, disappointed, scared, anything. So my answers to these questions were, wait, no, it's not true. I'm not nervous. That's not the right emotion I'm feeling. That's not the right name. The right name of my current emotion is excitement. I'm not nervous, I'm excited. Feeling nervous would imply a negative vibe, whereas I'm actually feeling only positive vibes around doing my speech in front of people today. I'm not nervous to talk, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it because I'm grateful I'm getting the opportunity to talk. I'm excited getting to share my vision and my experiences with other younger goalkeepers, and I'm really happy to be present tonight. My body is not shaking because I'm nervous to talk or to make some mistakes. My body is shaking because it's telling me I care about that moment. I care about giving a good presentation, and I am excited to do it. Very often we think we are nervous or stressed, when in reality it's only a fine line between being nervous or being excited. And care and stress can feel similar, like nerves and excitement. So remember that for you for later, because that might be helpful. Now, side note again, to help you a bit more practicing that mindset tool, it doesn't mean that because I'm feeling excited, I'm not thinking, oh wow, I hope people are going to like what I said, and I hope it's going to have a good impact and it's going to inspire them. Because I can say I'm feeling excited, it doesn't mean I'm 100% feeling confident. And that's totally okay. Like, I'm just sharing this to bring more balance in everything that I'm sharing here. It doesn't have to be I'm excited and I'm absolutely feeling amazing about everything. No. But at least just it's important to be aware if you're actually nervous or excited. The most important thing is putting your focus on the actual main emotion. Now you might be wondering, okay Lucy, that's a very cool story. We're happy for you that you could change your word, but what's the actual point of practicing that? Tell me, why should I actually do that? Well, that is a very good question. Thank you for asking. So the point and the reasons why you all should at least try practicing that, they are the three followings. First, there is a super powerful quote that Dr. Brené Brown shares in her book Atlas of the Heart, and it's from Ludwig Wittgenstein, which says, "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." The second reason why is simply asking you, what is your personal goal? Do you want to understand your emotion, overcome them, and be more in control of them? Or do you want to be controlled by your emotion? If your goal is to understand them and overcome them, then this is another reason why you should really practice this. And the third reason is that it's going to allow you to become more capable of improving yourself in a situation you're in and improving your resilience, improving your capacities to bounce back from obstacle, as well as to understand your needs, what you want, how you function, and your reaction towards other people as well a bit better. And icing on the cake, it's going to help you improving the quality of your self-talk. Why am I talking about self-talk? Well, because when your vision of your emotion changes, your self-talk starts changing too. Back to my personal example, as I understood that I wasn't stressed but I was excited, instead of spiraling down into a negative self-talk such as, oh my god, I'm nervous, I'm stressed, what am I doing here? What did I say yes to come? What if I'm boring? I never talked in front of so many people. What are they gonna think? Imagine they hate it. Imagine they hate me. Imagine I suck. I switch all these things from an empowering self-talk related with my excitement, such as, hey, yes, I'm feeling excited. I'm so grateful I get the opportunity to speak in front of people. That's such an amazing thing to do. I'm so happy to share my experiences with them. And I was doing a lot more of long, slow, deep breathing to calm down my shaking. And when your self-talk changes to become more optimistic, it also protects, obviously, the quality of your mental health. I want to make this mindset tool the most helpful and relatable for you. So I'm going to share another example. Why another? Because there are two situations you can practice putting the right name over the emotions you're feeling. It's first in a situation where it's only you towards yourself, like you about you, like I just shared with feeling excited at a conference. And also, you can have situation where it's about you and at least one other person involved. Let's say you and a friend, you and a colleague, a teammate, a stranger, anyone. So I just shared my personal example about me towards an event, like me towards me. So now let's use an example where it's you and at least one other person involved. Let's say, random example, that one of your friends is throwing a party and you are not invited. Let's say your first emotion is feeling angry. You're mad, you're really pissed off about that. You could also be sad, of course, like any emotion is possible. Let's just say, imagine you're angry. And your self-talk is oriented towards the other person. You're thinking, he or she or them is an idiot. How can I thought we were friends? I don't want to spend time with him or her or them anymore. I'm so angry, blah, blah, blah. Now ask yourself the question I mentioned prior. If you say you're feeling angry, is that true? Is anger the right name of the emotion you're feeling right now? Could you also be feeling something else? How else could I be feeling about this situation? Now, if you're not really used to practicing emotional self-awareness, which means understanding how, what, and why you are feeling something, your immediate response to the question, is that true? And how else could I be feeling? Might spontaneously be, yes, it's true, and I don't know what else could I be feeling. And if that's the case, that is totally okay. Let me tell you, it is normal to think that you don't know, because it's new. So, however, if I can add a bit of nuance to that, it's not really that you don't know, it's only that you are not aware of it yet. It's only a lack of awareness, because your body knows, your heart knows, your soul knows why you're feeling these emotions right now. Maybe your mind and thoughts don't know yet, but it's maybe simply because you probably didn't question your emotion in the past. So like I said, it's new, so it's still hard for you to find answers and it takes more time. And maybe you are not at beginner level, you're used to do that, but the situation you're in at that moment is new, so it's harder for you to understand. So that's okay. If your first answer is I don't know, it's okay. You can add the following thoughts in your self-talk. You can say, okay, I don't know, that's okay. Just think deeper. Think deeper. Take some time to actually think deeper. Even if it's uncomfortable for my ego, which, side note, it will be, that's okay, because a bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul. So now you've been thinking a bit deeper and you realize that you also feel sad, you feel hurt, and you feel disappointed because you thought it was a true friend. So maybe you actually feel rejected too. Or maybe you actually feel lonely, that's the biggest emotion. And maybe more than rejected and lonely, you feel you're not enough, or you're not lovable, or you're not worthy, which are deep core emotional needs we all have as human beings. And very often, anytime we are reacting any negative way towards someone or something that happened to us, it is very often related with these insecurities and these needs that we have, that we all have, about feeling worthy, feeling loved, feeling enough, feeling that we belong, and feeling safe. These are the 5 core deep emotional needs we all have as human beings. So now that you have a clear vision about your current emotional state towards that event, your feelings and your self-talk and your reaction can change. Now you're ready to change. So your self-talk can switch from focusing on the other person who hurt you to focusing on you. So you can write down on your phone, write down on a paper what I'm going to say. Ask yourself the question, what is this situation and my feelings about it showing me I need? What do I actually need? What can I do now to help me get my needs met? What is in my control? Which action can I take to start overcoming my feelings of loneliness or of not feeling lovable or any other feeling that you might be feeling? Does this situation show I need to have a conversation with that friend? Do I need to spend more quality time with myself? Does it show I need to work on my self-talk? Does it show I need to get better at setting boundaries? Do I need to go for a walk, to do some breath work, to go for a workout, to move my body, to exercise? Like whatever the answer could be, what is this situation showing you you need? Now, giving you that random example actually reminds me of a situation that happened to me once in the past. The short story is, I wanted to go on a date with a girl I had a crush on years ago. So we were texting and then I decided to call her, but she immediately declined my phone call. I didn't know why at the time, and I found out later it was because she was in a meeting, so she couldn't call. But when she declined my call, I felt so rejected by her that all of a sudden I went from feeling super joyful and excited and happy to feeling super low, almost a bit depressed, and after a few minutes of feeling really bad, and I was like wrapping myself in the bed at like 6 p.m, I asked myself, okay, you know what? Let's just do some work. Let's just do some mental work over here. Let's practice. Okay, how am I truly feeling right now? And why am I feeling that way? And what is the situation showing me I need? And what can I do to support my needs? And from doing that work of practicing putting the right name over my emotions, I realized that I was feeling low and depressed, not because I felt rejected, but simply because I was feeling unloved. And I decided that, you know what? This situation is showing me that instead of waiting for someone else to go on a date with me and making me feel loved, I'm going to show up for my needs and I'm going to take myself on a date and make myself feel loved. So from that understanding that I needed to feel loved and that I was going to show up for my needs of loving myself, I felt way better. I got out of bed, I took a shower, I dressed up nicely, I went with myself to a place I love to eat with a book, and I had a wonderful evening and I felt great. And I didn't have to spend the next days all moody and sad, walking around grumpy with my low feelings, simply thanks to practicing putting the right name over my emotions and understanding them so I can overcome them better. Now, last but not least, I have a bit of a fun fact for you. Let's go back to Brené Brown a bit. The last book she published is called Atlas of the Heart, and that book is all about finding out the right name for the emotions we are feeling. Her book is actually a list of all the emotions that we have, and she explains them to us. Now, she did a survey with her team asking American people how many different emotions do they know. You can also ask yourself right now the question, how many different emotions do you know? How many emotions can you say? Well, the average number people answered in that survey was, give me a drum, 3. In average, people know about 3 different emotions: happy, sad, mad. And do you have an idea how many human emotions are there approximately in the human behaviors? Well, in her last book, Dr. Brené Brown wrote about, give me drum, 87. 87 different emotions. And there are still more than that. But you gotta stop somewhere at a point. You can write about everything. So now let me go back to the quote I said to you. The limits of my language is the limits of my world. If you only know 3 emotions, how can you actually overcome any emotions you're having that is different from happy, sad, mad? It's so freaking hard. So of course, so many people sometimes, and maybe you as well, get stuck in one emotion, get stuck in one emotional state for like ages, weeks, months, days, because we are stuck thinking, I'm only sad, when actually you don't feel sad, you feel disappointed, you feel frustrated, you feel left alone, you feel rejected. And understanding them is so important if you want to overcome them. Now, do you want to build your emotional vocabulary and get better at naming the right emotion? If yes, you can check the link in the biography of my podcast episode, because I found for you a link from Dr. Brené Brown herself, who created templates to help us all work on that. So you can download the templates for free. They are in the biography of that episode. Now let's dive into the third and last key topic of this month episode. This topic is going to be very short. I know you've already given me a lot of your time and I am so grateful for that. So the last topic is the following: how to get better at being less anxious during high pressured moments. One way to get better at that, and again remember, this is just one way, not the only way, but one way to get better at being less nervous during moments of pressure is to remind yourself the following thing. Every big moment is nothing but another moment. Let me say that again. Every big moment is nothing but another moment. I was listening to a podcast episode where the guest shared this and I loved it. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I can't remember which podcast that was at all. I didn't write it down. I can't share it with you. I think it was with the Stoic author Ryan Holiday, who wrote several books about Stoicism, like The Obstacle is the Way, but I'm not sure. But even though I didn't write down which podcast that was, I remembered clearly hearing that and thinking, hey, this is one thing I want to share with my podcast community. I am really curious about what you think on that vision. The purpose of sharing this topic with you is to help you decrease your stress level, decrease your anxiety, or anything leading you to feeling extra nervous during some special situations. Overall, it's here to help you demystify a vision you might have, an approach you might have towards a big event, to remember that it is just another moment. Because, for example, you might have an important game coming up, or an important presentation to do at work or at school, or you have exams, or you're going on a first date, or you're doing conference, or you have to do a speech, or you have a job interview. anything else, literally anything else, even if you have to, let's say, show up for your needs and ask for help to a stranger in the street. Anything that makes you feeling stressed about it, anxious about it, makes you sweat a bit extra and increase your heartbeats and makes your body shake and makes you start having a negative self-talk, such as, whoa, I'm super worried, what if I fail, what if I make a mistake, what if it goes wrong, what am I going to do? Then you can practice the following thing. Just stop yourself, put your phone down or any distraction away from you just for 1 minute, like turn the TV off, stop the music, you pause, you breathe slowly for a few times, you inhale slowly, you exhale slowly, you do that again, and you say to yourself that it's okay. Every big moment is nothing but another moment, and I got this. And I've already been through moments like that before. I'm gonna be okay. And I got this. Every big moment is nothing but another moment. And once you said that, once you've done the breathing, you can add a smile on your face. You can put a smile on your face and put your favorite song that gives you a good empowering energy. You can go put an outfit on that make you feel like a badass, make you feel confident. You can get rid of your jogging and you can smile again when you see yourself like all dressed up and all feeling confident. Every big moment is nothing but another moment. You got this, champion, and I believe in you. Thank you so much for having listened to this 4th podcast episode. Like always, here are the final 3 questions of this episode to help you practice self-awareness. You can write them down if you want to answer them later, or you can just think about the answers in your head right now. Question 1. What's one thing I learned about myself this month? Question 2. What is a fear or insecurity I have I want to challenge myself at overcoming next month? Question 3. How can I be kinder towards myself and other people next month? Now that's it, champion. Thank you so much for having listened. I am so grateful being on this journey with you. Like always, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to share it with a friend whom you think will benefit from learning about today's insights. Because as you know, we get stronger together. And in case no one has told you today, this is a reminder that you matter, you are loved, you are enough. You make a difference in this world simply because you are you. You're absolutely unique human being. So thank you so much for being here and for being you. Now please take good care of you and of your mind and of your life because you deserve it. I wish you to have a great day. And if you cannot have a great day, then that's okay. Just have a day. That's great too. Okay, bye now. You're amazing.